What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Mega Masters of the Universe Eternia Battleground set with 646 pieces that retails for $65 US. And I believe this is only on Mattel Creations website, so that's where we had to order it. Of course, unlike our Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull, where we got like over 50% discount on it, this we had to pay full price, especially with it being on Mattel Creations. It's very unlikely that it will decrease in price that much, but it's not that high, so we went ahead and bought it, especially to go along with our two other sets, and I think it looks pretty cool. Of course, this is supposed to be recreating like the old Mattel Masters of the Universe toy of Eternia, but we get this tower in the center, and usually it's connected by some tracks, almost like roller coaster type tracks, attached to two additional towers as well, so one for Castle Grayskull and one for Snake Mountain. So I like how that's sort of depicted there in the background with the artwork, but with this set, we're only going to get the center tower, no tracks or anything. You can see like the things where the tracks would normally hang off as well are just pretty empty, but we get the tower along with an Attak track, so we get a vehicle, which is cool, and we get 4 figures to go along with it of He-Man, Ninjor, Webstor, and Buzz-Off, so pretty cool for that. Of course, not a big set, like I said, not that expensive either, but it is a pretty decent set, and like I said, would go nice along with our Grayskull and Snake Mountain, very similar to how you see it in the background there. Now, if we spin around to the back of the box, not that interesting with this design. It's all in like this blueprint scale, so we get the interior of the tower, so there's very little going on interior, and then the exterior, and then of course we get all sort of like weapon stuff that go with our characters, as well as a weapons rack, so a lot of stuff going on there, but especially on the back here, not that interesting of a design. And then of course down at the bottom we have our Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull that we've already done videos on, so looks pretty decent. Like I said, back's not that interesting, but I really love the artwork on the front. Nice classic design there, where they took of course our playset tower and then added like the old artwork from the 80s in the background, but still looks pretty cool altogether for that. So let's go ahead and look at the actual set, and we'll start with the figures. So here are 4 figures from the set. So we'll start with Battle Armor He-Man. So it looks pretty good. It looks like He-Man, but he does have the battle armor on top. So he's got this big armor chest plate with a nice slash on it with the H logo on him. And of course does also have like these additional little gauntlets around his wrist as well in the orange color. But underneath that, it looks just like normal He-Man. So of course the ripped shirtless guy with the fur underwear, but the gold belt around his waist and the fur boots that go up to his knees. Of course he has the Sword of Power there, which looks cool. And our He-Man head, like I mentioned with the last Mega videos, it's nice to have these because the figures have much more articulation than like Lego's minifigures do, so it's pretty nice. So we get the head that will twist around, the arms will come up to 90 and rotate around. We get an elbow joint, so we'll bend there like close to 90. The wrist will twist around. We get a twist around at the waist. Of course, these on these little stands that they all come with, but the hips will come up to 90 and the knee will bend back and forth. So it looks pretty nice. Now, unfortunately, they do have the feet designed, so with the little holes there, so you have to kind of get them spread out to be able to get them to stand up on the pegs and everything. But like I said, they do all come with these little green stands that you can put the characters on to sort of keep them standing, but looks pretty nice for He-Man. Then we have Ninjor, which looks pretty cool. So he comes with different weapons. Of course, just have that bow around him. So he's got nunchucks that we got there in his hand, as well as a sword and then that bow. But looks pretty nice. Just a ninja all covered in black. Has a nice design with like a dragon wrapped around the sword on his chest. Red arms and red legs. Love how he's got the toed legs like Skeletor has. Belt around the waist again to hold the sword. It looks like we have a section there. We could probably put the nunchucks in, and a red belt around his waist there as well, and a little slash coming off that rubbery belt that's around him. So it looks pretty nice overall. And like I said, he does also come with a bow, which actually kind of works. Like it has a thing where you can sort of bring this rubbery string back, which is quite rubbery, and it'll attach on the back of the arrow like that, so you can sort of get it posed in his hands however you want, which is pretty nice. And it has little clips to hold the arrows, but if you undo that, you then have to find a place to store the arrows, and then we could wrap it around like I sort of had it, but of course it just looks very awkward. But I just sort of stick them around it like that for now, just so I don't lose it. And then we got Webstor, which we got this Webstor figure with the Snake Mountain as well, so I always don't like when we get repeating characters, but he is different colors. The other one was lighter blue, where this one's much darker blue, and that other one came with a small like pistol like gun in the orange, where this one has this bigger blaster, which is cool, but still looks nice with he's like a spider, so he's got the multiple eyes and crazy mouth there with the all dark blue colors. Of course, the black feet again like Skeletor, chest plate with almost like a Black Widow sort of design on his chest, and then we get his legs in the back, so with the additional 4 legs it gives him the 8 leg. You know, his 2 arms and 2 legs along with these gives him 8, and then he also has the grappling hook that you can take out and sort of grapple anywhere on the playset if you want. So it's nice that we got the string design and all that there, so you can grapple around that and sort of hang him wherever you want, which is cool. And our final figure is a Buzz Off, which I don't think we've had before either, but looks pretty nice here. We get the additional headpiece on him that you can take off, and just to see normal Buzz Off there, which is cool. But you can always like that additional armor piece on his head. So he has the nice B design with alternating yellow and what looks like brown of his fur sort of stripes there. Of course, he's got the little claws on his hands, the three-toed feet like Skeletor, the wings on his back, which are pretty nice, clear design and stuff with a clip, so we can use that to sort of clip him on like he's flying. And comes with an axe that looks pretty nice as well, similar to the old toy has. So it looks pretty good for that as well. So that's our 4 minifigures with our 2 good guys of He-Man and Buzz Off and 2 bad guys of Ninjor and Webstor. So all 4 of those look pretty cool. And again, we can use those to set up a little fight scene around the Eternia Tower. So here we have our Eternia Tower and the accessories it comes with. So we'll look at the tower first, which looks pretty nice. This is a taller tower. Now it's not like super tall or anything, but it is pretty high up there with the flags up top. So we get the different little flag designs. So one looks like a lion, one looks like a pterodactyl, and then this one in the center looks like a swan or something. I know you can't really see that, but yeah, it has like a little swan design on it. But we get this nice tower in like this blue-green color, which looks pretty nice. It's like a light blue, but has a little bit of a green tint to it as well. So we get the nice little like turret up top, whatever, so we can say characters up here and they can look off. And as I said earlier, going down, we do have these little like arms coming off to the side that, like for the old Eternia playset, these would have tracks on it and a little like car would go back and forth so that you could go between Snake Mountain or Castle Grayskull, but this doesn't come with that, unfortunately. And then we go down to the front of the Eternia Tower where we get the lion head on the front, which looks really nice. Now the Eternia Tower, as I kind of showed on the front of the box, is a part of a 3-tower system with Grayskull Tower and Snake Tower that was constructed by the Elders of Eternia to balance the powers of good and evil, and the Eternia Tower contains the ultimate power. So pretty cool for this. Like I said, it'd be nice if we would have got the additional towers to go along with it, much like the Eternia playset. Would just been really cool to have that, but we just get this single tower, unfortunately, which doesn't have a lot going on. But as I said, we get the lion face here on the front, which looks nice. So we get the lion-like eyes, we get the like, you know, sort of fur and everything sort of coming off with this blue design. We get the mouth that does open and close, so we can open the mouth there with the big teeth. We get a tongue in there, and so it can open and sort of close there. And we also get some claws to the side, so if a character's come in, so it can sort of close in around them. Of course, wouldn't really do it much on He-Man. Let's say we have like He-Man there, we can take the hands on each side and sort of grab onto him and stuff. So you can do that sort of thing with those little hands, so like little guard hands or whatever, which is cool. Then we get a little drawbridge design coming out to the stairs here in the front that have like these little bird designs on the front of them there. So unfortunately, there's not a whole lot going on exterior on this, or interior, I should say. So they're, like I said, it's not like the greatest set ever. There's not a whole lot going on, but it is recreating that old classic toy. So it makes sense why they did this and a reason why we wanted to go with, like I said, especially with our 2 play sets. But it is what it is. You know, the toy itself doesn't have a whole lot going on either. So it's hard to really add stuff when there's nothing really there. But we can spin around and look on the inside. Again, not a whole lot going on. So again, like we'll start at the top. So we have the little tower up here. So I'm just going to take any sort of character, just sort of stand up here so they can look out and see what's going on. We have the next level down. So just this level, again, just take a character, sit him in there. But we do get a gun off to the side. So we have someone like up in the tower, sort of like shooting off in case any enemies are approaching. We have that. Then we go down to the next level, which I'm not really sure what's going on here. All I could really find is that it has a control center. So we do get like this little screen there in the background and this chair. Don't know if this He-Man will work out too well because of his chest armor, but we can take a character and plug them in. So they have always the little back holes there, and you can sort of take a character and they can sort of float around in the chair. And I love how it sort of spins around so they can look at the computer, or it'll completely spin around and they be facing out this way. So that's pretty fun, but like I said, don't really know exactly what's going on here. Just a little chair with a computer there in the background. And then we get the lower entrance, which again, nothing really going on, just an empty space that you can sit characters in. So like I said, nothing really going on with the tower. We just have this middle section that has the chair and the computer, but everything's really mostly on the outside, with that lion head is really all that we're looking out for there. So that's what we get for the tower, but we do get some extra accessories. So we do also get this communication station. So especially if we flip around, you can see this design, and we get the communication station, and it has the tower there. I know it's going to be hard to see. I don't know if I can, yeah, I can't get it zoomed in anymore, but there is a little tower on there. So the tower with the snake on one side, Grayskull on the other there, and just also a little printing going on to that. But on the back side, it's a weapons rack as well. So we get all these additional weapons. So you can give these to any characters that you want. So you just have this weapons rack standing there, and then we can have characters standing behind it, sort of communicating with with whatever we need. So we get that. And then finally, we also get the Attak Trak, which is a funny looking vehicle. It's got like a race car design to me, especially with the red and then like the flat down front. Of course, the big control piece here, and we can take characters instead of men, so you can lift that up. Take like He-Man again, you got to get his back pegged into it, so he can peg in like that, and then of course put the control down in front of him so he can be driving out. And it just has a design. It almost looks like the big wing on the back and stuff. Like I said, like a drag car or something is what this always reminds me of. But we get the crazy wheels, which of course these wheels are just sort of there, and you put them down, but as you move forward, it sort of like moves, like inching forward like a little track and stuff, and you can sort of get them in sync like I have them, get them off sync, so it looks like it's, crawling like it should. I think you should always have them opposite. So like these two should move at the same and the opposite should move at the same. So you can just obviously do whatever you want to get them messed around with. But we get the Attak Trak as well, which is pretty fun. Of course, it has some sticker pieces and looks pretty similar to what the old toy looked like with all the designs and everything going on to it. So just a fun additional little vehicle thrown in as well, since like I said, we don't get much going on with the tower, so we get the additional vehicle thrown in there as well. And the final little features, especially up here towards the top, it's going to be hard to see, but there is this clear peg sort of sticking off, so we get this clear peg, and we can take like Buzz off and stick him up there. Obviously you can sort of take this and put it anywhere, so anywhere that there's like open pegs or whatever, you can put it in and have Buzz off sort of flying around there as well. So that is pretty cool. Just wanted to mention that since it is included. And then of course you could take like Webstor, so to put his grapple hook all the way up on the top there and have him grappling up the side of the tower and everything. So we just get a lot going on with our different characters, and of course the Attak Trak and the weapons rack and all sorts of stuff that we can do with this place, and have our good guys once again at Buzz off and He-Man facing off against Webstor and Ninjor. But unfortunately, like I said, pretty basic, not a lot going on. And like our past sets, this would be a good one to get on like a 50% off discount, because like I said, there's just not a whole lot going on, so it's not as interesting. Now if it would have also come with the Gray Skull Tower and Snake Tower, it would have made this even better and cooler, but of course would have also increased the price quite a bit, but just would have had more going on with that. But a pretty decent set, not horrible, and it also goes along with our Castle Grayskull and Snake Mount, so it fits in with that. But let me know what you thought of this Eternia Battleground set down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.